Hello, students. We are now in our second session of Marxist theory. And what I said the earlier day, most probably all of you have followed it, and some of you have urged me also to speak in Bengali so that their efforts are not very, they don't get very critical. They want to understand the theories in their vernacular. So I will uh, indulge in some Bengali explanations also, because there's no harm in it. A theory is a theory in whichever language you discuss it. So I will start with the Marxist theory of state, because that is the central thing in Marxism. And that has already drawn enough criticism, enough opposition, and we the Marxists, we defend it. So I think it's my liability to explain how Marx formulated his theory of state. He found it out. And I will just start with a quote from the Communist Manifesto in Bengali. In the first chapter, Marx says, in Bengali translation, I would just give it to you. আজ পর্যন্ত বিদ্যমান সকল সমাজের ইতিহাস হচ্ছে শ্রেণী সংগ্রামের ইতিহাস. No, you may not accept it. Many people have not accepted it, and they questioned how Marx got to it. What is class struggle? শ্রেণী সংগ্রামের ইতিহাস ছাড়া কোন ইতিহাস নেই. Okay, definitely. But the concept, Marxian concept of state that developed on a basic component of Marxism, Marxist theory, that is historical materialism. I've already supplied you the materials: historical materialism, dialectical materialism, political economy, all these things in your classes. Now, the Marxian concept of state is completely different from the Western formulation and Western concept of state, how it originated, the origin of state. Now, in Western political science, in Western politics, what we get is completely different, I tell you, than the Western politics. They have used multiple theories and explanations regarding how state originated. Suppose if we start with St. Thomas Aquinas. He tried to prove that state was the creation of God, Ishwareর সৃষ্টি. That means definitely that behind the origin of state, the production relations or the social system, they didn't have any role to play. Again, such philosophers and political thinkers like Hobbes, Locke, Rousseau, these people, they tried to prove that state originated from a consensus between different sections of the society, একটা সমষ্টিগত ইচ্ছার ফলশ্রুতি। এই সমষ্টিটা কারা, কি করে, কোন কোন ইচ্ছা ছিল, কি করে রাষ্ট্র তৈরি হলো, কোনো মিটিংয়ে বসে, কোনো আলোচনায়, পার্লামেন্টে ডিক্রি করে সমাজপতিরা বসলেন, বসে আলোচনা করে দিলেন এইভাবে রাষ্ট্র হবে। অ্যান্ড টু দেম state had to originate. Not simply it originated, it had to originate because it had to mold the social life into a stable and realistic frame, a stable and realistic frame, একটা সুষ্ঠু বাস্তবসম্মত রূপ দেবার স্বার্থে। Now, historical materialism totally rejects these concepts, totally rejects. And in Marxian theory of state, state was not produced or created by God, or neither was it created by any social conscience for the common good of the social institutions. রাষ্ট্র সমাজের সামগ্রিক স্বার্থে প্রতিষ্ঠিত হয়নি। Then, now Marx and Engels in different writings, they discuss the origin of state and its character, their explanation. And very important among those are, you may note them down, are their joint endeavors, like the Communist Manifesto, which was published in 1848, and then The Origin of Family, Private Property and the State by Engels, Friedrich Engels, in 1884, as far as I can remember. And then Vladimir Ilyich Ulyanov Lenin, he in his State and Revolution, Rashtriya Biplav, written in 1917, he discussed it. And then Savdedlav University, there he delivered some lectures on the state in 1919, and there also he more firmly established the Marxian explanation of the origin of state. Now, one thing I have forgot to tell you at first, that I am going to divide my lectures in small parts. That is, one lecture must not exceed 10 minutes. For there's a problem in uploading them to your classroom. I have to go through YouTube, and they're downsizing my material. The pixel quality gets very bad. So I will just every now and then I will finish my lecture, and the next video will have the continuation of it. So I in fact conclude the first part that Marx and Engels differed from Western theories of the origin of state. They adopted the process of historical materialism, and it refutes the Western theories of the origin of state and the documents that are very important in getting their ideas from are the Communist Manifesto, 1848, jointly produced by Marx and Engels, then the Origin of the Family, Private Property and the State in 1884 by Engels, and then Lenin in his State and Revolution, and later in his speeches in Svadevlav University on the state, and they established the Marxian theory of state more firmly against all the Western deviations. So I stop my lecture thus now, and then I will proceed it again.